Hi everyone, it's Happymailqueen. I hope everyone's doing well and enjoying the holiday season. I've been really busy, so I have not been able to do a video. I've had time to do a video and I've crafted a little bit, but it's just been really hard to, I don't know, just sit down and actually do a video and edit and do all that stuff that takes a lot of time. So anyway, I do have a couple of projects to share with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. Lately, I've been doing a lot of shopping at Bath & Body because I love giving lotions, things like that, over the holidays. I think most people like Bath & Body, and there's so many different selections. This has to be my favorite one right here. This is the Winter Candy Apple. This is my favorite for the season, you guys. And I love it. It has shea butter, vitamin E, so it smells really good. It smells like sweet apples. And my daughter actually was the one that kind of got me started on this particular scent, because this isn't my usual scent, but just for the season, just for the holiday, I do love this one. So anyway, I had taken advantage of their sale and I bought a bunch of these, you guys, as well as their hand creams right now. I think normally they're somewhere, I think they're maybe $4 each, but right now at the stores, only in store, you guys, they are $1.95 right now, the hand creams. So that is the sale that is going on right now. These lotions, I think, is 3. You buy 3 and you get 3 free. So that is the sale right now, among other sales. But anyway, the reason I wanted to show you guys this is because I had to figure out, because I bought a ton of these, I had to figure out how I'm going to be packaging these. And so I thought I'd go ahead and share with you guys what I came up with. And to me, it's the perfect size for just the one bottle. And what I did was I used my We Are Memory Keepers gift bag punch board. I've had this for the longest time and I do use it every once in a while. I do have a die that can make a gift bag. However, it's a bit too tiny for this bottle right here. It's just, this bottle's just a little too tall. And so I had to use this one. And what I did was, you know, you follow the instructions. They do give you directions here. And what I did was I used the largest gift bag size. And then I made it tall enough to house this. And I'll just share with you guys. I'll share with you guys the measurements in a minute, because I decided, you know, if there's some of you guys who don't have this punch board, there is a way to do it without the punch board. And so I'm going to do a little tutorial at the very end. But let me just share with you what I came up with. And I'm not completely done, but as you can see here, this is how the gift bag looks like. This is about, I want to say it's about 2 inches. 2 inches wide. So it's perfect for this little bottle, as you can see. And here's the other one that I created. And this is using one 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And you guys, we have a bunch of 12 by 12s. If you guys haul a lot of hot buys from Michael's, then you should have plenty of 12 by 12 papers. So that's basically why I wanted to do this project, was also so I can use my papers, because I have a ton. But let me just show you, it fits perfectly in there, look. And I made it so that when I create the little handle, the hole there, it does not show the bottle. And so I'm just going to probably put tissue paper, or I can even, well, I will put tissue paper, or you can put crinkle paper and then you can just dress it up with your favorite ribbon or eyelash trim. And then I just decorated it very simply, and I decorated it using a die that I've been wanting to play with, a Caitlin Lizardi rosette die. Let me see if that's what she calls it. Well, she calls it party fans, but it creates rosettes in 3 different sizes. And so I made the smallest one using this one right here. You only get 2 pieces, but you can either do this size here, that is only up to there, and then a full length one. And it tells you here how many you have to cut. For the smallest one, you cut 3 strips and then you glue it all together. Okay, we're not gonna go over that on the tutorial, but just to let you know, that's what you do. You'd cut 3 of the small one and you would come up with this rosette that measures, let's see, I believe it's about 3 or 2.5 inch, I think, in diameter. It's about 2 3/4 in diameter. And I just hot glued that, or I actually used my craft glue here, the Helmer glue from Hobby Lobby, which was $5.99, and I used a coupon, so it's less than that, 40% off, and it dries pretty quickly, sets quickly, and it's clear, and so far so good. It's holding up. So yeah, that is what I came up with. And this is a sticker that I just got from, I think from the expo, I don't know, a few years ago, this one right here. But you can embellish it any which way you want. For this one here, I just used my 1-inch circle punch, and I punched out one of these, and then I just put that on the center and then put a little bling from Michaels. That looks like a little candy. So really easy. So to create this gift bag, you're gonna need a 12 by 12 sheet and a paper trimmer. So we're gonna cut this 12 by 12 sheet down. Now pay attention to the orientation of your paper. If the design requires you to, you know, have it a certain way. Now if you want, let's say, your gift bag to be this way, you want to keep the full length of this side 12 inches. You're going to turn it and you're going to cut it down to 8 3/4. So let's go to 8 3/4. And then you want to save this sheet here because you're going to make your rosette out of this one. Okay, now get your scoreboard. And with the design side up, on the 12-inch side, you are going to score at 3 5/8. So that's 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. You're going to score at 4 5/8, which is 1 line after the 4 1/2. Okay. You're going to score at 5 5/8. 9 1/4, 10 1/4, and 11 1/4, which will leave you with a 3 1/4 inch flap at the end. Okay, and then you want to turn your paper, because now you're going to create the flaps for the bottom. We're going to score at 1 3/8. So that's 1, 2, 3. 1 3/8. So just a line shy of 1 1/2. Okay, so 1 3/8. And that's all the scoring you're going to do. Okay, then, and let me just, oh, I was going to show you my template, but okay, so I will leave the measurements in the description box so you guys will know. And then what you want to do is go ahead and just fold your score lines. So we're going to go ahead and fold our score lines, just making sure that it's all lined up. And you can use your bone folder. Okay. Okay, and well, you can fold this too. Okay, and then you want to cut your flaps on the bottom. So what you're going to do is you're going to actually cut the smallest square. That's going to be completely cut off. Okay, it's not really a square, but it's a little rectangle. We are going to completely cut that off. Okay, and then on the, remember we flipped it over, okay, so now I'm kind of working on the other side. So if you can see, this is your flap that's going to connect your bag together, okay, and this is basically your gusset right here, these score lines. Okay, so you want to, on your, let's see, 1, 2, 3rd score line, you want to cut a slit just up to that 1 3/8 line. It's that first score line to create that flap. Okay, and then the next score line over, you're also going to cut that slit. And I hope I'm in frame, sorry. Okay, and then you're going to skip this score line and you're going to go cut on the next one over. Okay, and then what you want to do is just to miter your corners a little bit, because this will make it easier. So on each flap, you want to miter your corner. That makes sense. You're basically cutting at an angle. You're cutting just a sliver, basically. And this will just make it easier when you're folding it over, so that it will set nicely. So you're going to cut that off and a sliver that way, sliver this way. Okay, I hope I'm making sense here. This flap here, gosh, am I too high again? Sorry guys. You're gonna cut that way. You're gonna angle this way, and then This one you're going to angle this way. Okay, and you're going to be left with that. And then turn it over, and this is also a flap, so you want to go ahead and just cut a sliver of that this way, and then this one just a hair, because this is the top, just the hair. Okay, so basically each of your flap you're kind of cutting at an angle, kind of like creating a V. See, a V for each flap. Okay, hope that made sense. Now we're going to go ahead and whoops, open your glue, or get your glue. I'm just using my Helmer glue. And go ahead and glue the side flap, which is your longest flap. Okay, and the easiest way to do this is if you fold 1, 2, 3 on the third score line, fold that over. And that should land right there on that flap, but you can also, you know, straighten it out. And this is a great glue because it gives you some time to adjust if it's not lining up. Okay, and then you want to just burnish down so that that is nice and adhered. Okay, and just open that up, and there you go. And as you can see here, this is the bottom piece. So you're basically just gonna close that up, right? So go ahead and put, the way I glue it, I glue a little bit here on the bottom smaller flaps, just on the bottom part, and I adhere that down. And then I'll go ahead and just put a little glue at the edges of the top flap. And you want to put a little bit of glue in the middle here, but not at the bottom part here, okay? Because there's nothing to adhere that down to. That makes sense. Okay, and then you're just gonna line that up. And then just turn it over, and you can either take your glue bottle and just press that down, or whatever you have. You can take a ruler and just press that down just to make sure that that's nice and adhered on the bottom. Okay, once that's nice and dry, just give it a minute. Now you want to create your handle, and so what I do is I just line up my score lines here, and the one behind, I line that up. I line this up, and I make sure that this is nice and leveled here too. I mean, you know, lined up. The edges are lined up. And then you take your either a punch or I'm going to use an oval punch to make my handle. If you just have an oval, it has to be pretty small. This is a Fisker's punch. I think I got it at Joann's. I go all the way in, okay, and then I will punch that out. Okay, and that's your handle. Now, if you don't have a punch and you do have this size a die, then you probably want to cut this. You probably don't want to glue this down yet. Instead, don't glue this down, and go ahead and cut the middle part off first. You know, run it through your die, because you can flatten this, remember. Just flatten it like that. straight down. Run it through your die cutting machine and then glue the bottom afterwards. Now, because this paper is pretty thin, I like to reinforce the bottom because this is a pretty heavy bottle. Just for, I don't know, this is optional, but if you want to reinforce, then what you want to do is just cut another little piece of paper, or you can cut your pattern paper. But since my pattern paper is not that sturdy, I'm going to go ahead and use, I'm just going to use this one here. I use this this guillotine cutter for thicker paper. So you want to cut just a small piece, which will be about almost 2 inches, not quite. So that would be 1 15/16. Just shy of 2 inches by just shy of, what was it? 3 11/8, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I think almost 3 3/4, but not quite. Let me see. I've forgotten my measurements. I think this is it. Yeah. Just shy of 3 3/4. And then what you want to do is slip that in. And that will just kind of reinforce the bottom. You know how some gift bags have that cardboard on the bottom? And that way it's nice and sturdy on the bottom. And that's it. And then to create your rosette, you're going to cut this strip here, 3 strips, and then make your rosette, and then you can just create that and then decorate in the middle. So I hope you guys found this helpful and have fun creating these. They're inexpensive, you know, because you have lots of paper already. And it only requires one 12 by 12 sheet. And it's a perfect size for the Bath & Body lotions. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope you guys liked my tutorial and my project share, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!